So if we look at the very first movement of Gekisai Daiichi, which is ostensibly a Joranage uke, if my opponent's punching at me with his left hand, I'm doing a couple of different things here. The first thing I'm doing is covering with my right hand. So that deflection on his hand or his wrist might be effective, maybe it's not effective. If, as I touch him, he breaks his energy at the elbow and he's coming forward, he might actually clock me with that elbow, or he might come across and hit me with a back fist. A whole bunch of things can happen from there. It's a good start, but it's not very, very effective. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to be blocking him towards his elbow, the front of his elbow, in this sort of a fashion. But if I just do that, maybe he's already clocked me with his hand. If I'm doing the flinch reflex, I'm just going to put both those hands up. So as his shoulder moves, and he moves into his punch, I'm doing my oh my goodness moment, putting my hands up like this, and actually doing both of those blocks at the same time. So it's a pat pat. I can do one of these, I can do an upper block, I can do a whole bunch of things from there. But the point is that my flinch reflex will get my arms up to here. If he uses his other hand, if he balks with one hand and hits the other one, it doesn't matter, I'll just still come up and I'll put both of those hands up to not be hitting the head initially. But that movement, this 1 and 2, is exactly the first 1 and 2 movement of our Joranage uke. And this block shouldn't, contrary to popular opinion, come up like this. Because if it comes up like this, then what happens is, let's go the other way. If old mate's punching me to here and I'm blocking up this way, I've exposed all of this side of my body, I haven't closed him off, he's got another arm to hit me, whole bunch of mayhem going on there. So come back again. If, however, I'm coming up to here and I'm blocking in this fashion, hand to the head, shoulder packed down, elbow down, I'm actually in a dominant body position over the outside of him. Remembering I'm talking through this period, this is in a nanosecond that this is happening. This is when I'm just standing here and he's punching and I'm going block like this. That's not how karate works. It might work in some dojos. It's not the way karate's supposed to work. This is an immediate action. Oh my goodness. And then, depending on where his arm is in space, I might pull him back into a punch, I might move off on top of him, I might do a whole bunch of things from there. The most important part is the interception. So what I'm doing here is gross motor movements. We're only at movement 1, yeah? We've done deflections, 2 different types of deflection, and we've done our moving him offline. I'm still maintaining my centre line. I'm moving him offline, closing that hand off, and maintaining my dominance that I maintain through other exercises like kake and whatnot, to maintain my centre and keep dominance over him. Okay, the second technique, as he's punched me, I've gone to my punch to the face. As I've gone, my oh my goodness moment, put both the hands up, I've deflected his arm, and then I've come through to close him off. I haven't blocked him upwards like this to expose myself. I've come to close him off. My second movement is the punch. I step in and punch. I can do that from space. I can move forward if I want to. This withdrawing hand of any of these karate type motions, for want of a better word, they can have something in them as they come back. So I can be coming from here and grabbing his arm in and adding that pull into my punch as I pull him into here. As I've put him across to the side, I might just use that motion of the return to the chamber just to move his hand out of the way so I can punch him with a few other things from here as well. So it's not that the applications are limitless, but it's not just locking up and punching like so. This returning hand either returns with something in it, or it's doing something to dominate the hand that it's attached to. Maybe I'll talk about the attachment a little bit later on in this, to be able to affect my second strike.